Hey, everybody, and welcome to a heroic Wild Ride with Steve-O. Heroic indeed is our guest this week, JiDion. I mean, he's just going into the most racist town in all of America and affecting positive change. What a fascinating conversation we have about that. And then, of course, he's heroically, catching predators and at a level higher than any other catch a predator operation. I think he's surpassed Chris Hansen by a lot. Man, what a fascinating career JiDion has had, as a streamer, a YouTuber, now a heavily spiritual guy. Really cool. I got to catch up with them here on my Crash and Burn tour. We were in Houston at the time. I'm now in Oklahoma. As this comes out, I'm gearing up for a killer weekend in Tulsa, Oklahoma. So if you're in the area, man, come and see my Crash and Burn show. It is insane. And let's just get right into it now. Let's get into it. Boom. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, people of the universe, I bring to you a modern day superhero, streamer, YouTube legend, JiDion.
What's good, Steve-O, man? I am definitely not a superhero. I'm just a black guy.
Well, your superheroes fight for justice, and you are absolutely fighting for justice.
Man, me and my team, we try our best, man. We try our best. We only can do what, God allows us, and he's allowed us to do a lot, so it's been a blessing.
Yeah, and thank you so much. Of course, we're in Houston. You rep Houston hard.
Yes, sir, man. It's H-Town all day, man. You know what's crazy? It's like Houston's big, but I don't think it's big. You know what I mean? Where you have people that rock L.A., you have people that rock New York and stuff like that. I feel like Houston...
Wasn't Beyonce from Houston?
I'm not gonna lie, but that's pretty much our biggest rise to fame is her.
I'm so glad I got that right. There's not any other big...
Travis Scott's from here.
Travis Scott, there you go.
Megan Thee Stallion's from here.
You got to give the love to Trey the Truth.
Trey the Truth, yeah.
Shout out Trey the Truth. That's my homie.
So, you know what? We have a lot of legends that come out of here, but I'm just talking just straight, I guess, Houston culture. I feel like it's not repped as hard as the other cities, but I think Houston is one of the best cities out there.
Right, and I think that what we could say is that for all the big people that came out of Houston, there's not a lot of people that stay in Houston.
Oh yeah, no. I think the biggest person that's staying here right now, I think Drake just bought a crib out here.
Oh, how about that?
Something like that, yeah.
Where do you stand on the Drake Kendrick?
Man, I'm not gonna lie. I would be a liar to. I'm not gonna lie. I'll be a liar. I'll be a liar to sit up here and say it wasn't entertaining and I wasn't tuning in and stuff like that. But at the end of the day, it's just I kind of look at it if you're still talking about it a year from now, it's come on, man, you got to grow up now.
Well, I wouldn't disagree with you, but it just goes to a whole other level with the lawsuits. I mean, dude, has there ever been anything less gangster than suing a guy because he smoked you in a rap?
You know what? I feel that, but also, let's say someone made a huge diss track that went #1 and performed it at the Super Bowl, calling you a people that
we can bleep that word, right? You bleep that word.
Oh yeah. We'll say EDP.
Yeah.
If someone went on the and if you guys don't know what EDP is, chomo, right, pretty much bad people.
A pred.
Yeah, a pred. That's even better. Yeah, if someone went on the Super Bowl calling you a pred, I mean, who wouldn't sue?
I know, but he sued ahead of that. I mean, I don't know. And we don't need to do an autopsy on the K. Drake beef. It's interesting, though.
It was cool for the time. It was very it got me through that summer. That was fun.
I mean, it's up there with the biggest rap beefs of all time.
You ever cuz
I mean, dude, when has a diss track ever won a Grammy, let alone be performed at the Super Bowl? A diss track. It's so amazing.
It really is. But I think what a lot of people, when I listen to it, I don't even really be thinking about Drake. It's you can kind of put yourself in there, and it's like
Yeah.
other people not being like you.
I'll tell you, man, Kendrick's GNX album, to me, is just such fire, like, way more than Not Like Us.
Yeah, it was pretty good. It was pretty good.
That first track, I was just like, oh, shit.
You're a big hip-hop dude?
Not a big hip-hop dude, but I got down with that last Kendrick album.
I feel like you get down to like some like classical music.
I do get down to some jazz. Always been big into jazz.
Because I know it's like the most chaotic people be having like the most chill vices.
I mean, dude, you never know what's going to come out of my shuffle. Dude, you never know. Now, okay, so speaking of being all over the place with, like, genres, like, you, is it safe to say, it's not, I don't mean any disrespect, but you've made this tremendous career out of, like, literally throwing a ton of shit at the wall and figuring out what's going to stick.
Yeah. No, like literally, you know, I feel like that's one thing I always like to do, even when something's going great. I'm always just like, whatever my heart feels like doing, that's what I'm gonna go on and go do, because it's so easy to do the same thing over and over and again. And it's like, if you love it, they keep on doing it. But if your heart starts wandering somewhere else, you should always follow where your heart goes to and stuff. So that's kind of like what I live by. And it's a blessing that a lot of the stuff I throw at the wall, it be sticking. So it just really is such a blessing, you know, because a lot of times, you know, it don't work.
Well, right. I mean, you famously had the curse of the 244 subscribers.
Dang, you really, oh man. They just brought some PTSD. Yeah. I was stuck at 244,000 subscribers for 6 months. And
yeah, I saw you say that you hate that number.
Oh, I hate that number. I hate it. And every time I would upload a video, I would just lose subscribers. Like,
right.
But it was because at that point I was just chasing the trend. So like I was trying to make stuff to go viral. So it wasn't like I liked it.
You kind of have to do that. You know, like, let's not, like, be critical of making stuff to go viral. That's the game that we play.
But I think it's one thing that making stuff to go viral, and it's another thing making stuff that you genuinely, like, enjoy, that you think is a great idea, and that you know can go viral. I feel like those are two different things.
Right.
Because you got YouTube channels out here, and I'm not going to, you know, put out no names or nothing, but you got these people making content where it's like, I know you hate this. I know this isn't you as a person. I've had YouTubers tell me that they hate the stuff that they do, but it just works with the algorithm, so they stick with it. And I'm like, I just genuinely, I couldn't live like that, you know?
Dude, that's crazy. You remind me of a time. I was telling you about that dog that I rescued in South America.
Yeah.
The reason I was in South America, I was recording this. At the time, was it called YouTube Red? When YouTube was trying to do battle with Netflix.
Yeah.
And so their whole angle was to take like big YouTubers and try to, you know, convert all of their subscribers into paying subscribers.
Yeah.
So like it was this TV show that was for that. And it was basically like mountain climbing with the stars. You know, you had me and Sniper Wolf. God, I'm even afraid. It was Chuck Liddell was out there.
What the hell? They just threw everybody in there.
It was a Furious Pete was there.
Oh wow!
Yeah, I mean,
I haven't heard that name in a while.
This was in 2017.
Yeah,
but all these YouTubers around, you know, we're kind of in the mountains, and that one thing that they really emphasized was that if you wanted to get views at that time, have Jake Paul's name in the title of your video. Isn't that crazy?
Yeah, him and his brother, they ran YouTube back then.
I mean, dude, it's outrageous. I remember when, like, I guess right around that time, I was like, man, I'm not a lazy guy. Like I'm down to work, you know, like I'm focused, I'm driven. Like, what am I doing wrong? Like, what am I doing right? I was looking at these guys.
Oh, you were like looking at their views and
just looking at their tremendous success, you know, like.
Man, that's the thing though. It's like comparison is the thief of all joy.
There you go, man. Thank you for that. Thank you for that. Let me ask you, okay, about your YouTube career, because I know there was like I was fascinated by like you made a video giving complete strangers the N-word pass.
Yeah.
How did that video do?
Man, so you know what's crazy? That day that I was supposed to, this is the thing where it's like, do stuff that you genuinely want that you know can go viral versus doing stuff that you know will go viral but you really don't want to do it.
Right.
So on that day, I had my friends, I was still in high school, freaking, I didn't even have 1,000 subscribers yet, and we were gonna go to the mall and we were gonna do F, marry, and kill, and like we were just gonna have random strangers be like F you, blah blah, like, because that was what was blowing up on YouTube.
So you're gonna go ask random strangers. Were you gonna give them like celebrity examples?
No, it'll be like me and like my friends. So like it was just gonna be like that. But I took a nap before we did the shoot, right? And then when I woke up, I was just scrolling on Snapchat, and then this white girl, she was dating this black dude. She was just like, my boyfriend just gave me this pass, and it was the N-word pass. And I saw that, and I was like, whoa, what if I, and like I just told them, I called them, I was like, yo, video's canceled, we're not doing it anymore. And I just went straight to the library, and I just went N-word pass, all on like just a freaking Microsoft Word.
Sure.
And I went to go print it out, but the person who ran the printer, you know, they could see it before you print it.
Right.
She was like, nah, we can't print this. I was like, please, it's for a project.
It just said N-word pass.
It just said N-word pass.
And they wouldn't print that?
And they wouldn't even print that. I was like, it doesn't even say the word. So I had to beg her, and she eventually did it. I just cut it up, put it in a Ziploc baggie, and then the next day we went out recording it. And that video got like 5,000 views, which at the time, like, I didn't even have 1,000 view video. So, but the thing was even though it didn't get the most amount of views, the reason why I knew I was on the right trajectory is because it was just the comment section. They were like, man, this is hilarious.
Right.
This was such a great idea. And there was, even before I did it, no one had ever did the video before. So I was the first person to do it like that.
Have a lot of people done it since?
Oh, God. Oh, man, you look up giving strangers the N-word pass, everybody did. They used the same thumbnail I did.
And they didn't give you any credit.
Some people did, some people didn't, but that's okay. You know, it's the game, and like I understand that. But
not everybody can be Kai Cenat.
Yeah, no, yeah, not everybody.
What was the video that he copied you, but he said shout out him?
So that's another thing. So David Dobrik, you know how he be doing a bunch of bits in his videos.
Sure.
So he had one bit where, you know, he just hired a professional cutler.
Right.
So
that's right. I remember now.
I was looking at it and I was like, you know what? I looked, because whenever I would think of an idea, I would always look to see if someone made like a full video about it. No one had ever made like a full video like with the title and stuff like that. So I found one near me, and we did like a whole skit where, like, you know, I had like the onesie and the thing and all that, and that video did so good for me. But then Kai, he saw it, he did the video, and when I saw it, I was like, man. But then I clicked on the video, and the first thing he did was just give me love and stuff like that. And it's like, can you even be mad if someone does something but they give you love? And so like after that, I was like, man, this is a good dude and stuff. But I didn't hit him up yet. But then like a couple months later, then I hit him up, and we had like a 2-3 hour conversation and stuff like that. But a lot of my ideas is just like stuff I see out in the world, or I might get an idea from watching others. That's why I watch everything. Like when I tell you there's no genre that I probably haven't at least stumbled across once, I'm always just watching everything because I love everything.
Yeah, I mean, dude, taking somebody's ideas, man, that's gnarly.
Man, that's the worst.
It's gnarly, man. Like I remember I really wanted to shoot. Roman Atwood had this thing where like they'd poke a hole in a water bottle, and then like he'd be squirting the water bottle and pretending to be peeing.
Yeah.
I thought that was so funny. Like I hit him up to say, hey man, I really love your idea and I want to shoot it, but like, you know, I'm not gonna steal your idea. Like can we make it together? So it was like a collab deal. Like, you know, I'm like, I'm with Roman Atwood, which gave me permission.
Do it.
You know, like
doing it, when you have them in there, nobody in the comment section can say nothing.
Yeah,
it's just, you know, it's just all vibes. I had one where freaking what's up, Moon Pie? Am I being too loud? I had one where this dude, his name is Tanner, certified. I don't know if you heard about it. He was the prankster that got shot.
Oh,
And
whoa.
I don't know if you ever heard about that.
I don't know about a prankster getting shot, man.
Yeah, your viewers might have seen it, but he had got shot in the mall doing a prank. But this was before this had happened. But he has a series
Is
where
he okay? Did he get...
he survived. Yeah, it messed up his stomach real bad, but he's back at it. He fully recovered, and he's doing pranks still. And like, a lot of people been giving him hate and stuff. And I'm just kind of trying to tell him, man, if you want to
I'm sorry for interrupting you.
Yeah.
What was the he's doing? Was the nature of his pranks like to really antagonize people, and that's why he got shot?
So the prank that he was doing was like, I think he was doing the fake translator prank. So like he was like saying a bunch of gibberish and then like having like the Google Translate like say some stupid stuff, right? And the guy apparently, I don't know if he was schizophrenic or whatever, but like he like was just really nervous. And my friend, he's 6'5", so he's a big dude. So
This Tanner's 6'5".
yeah.
Okay, so you're homies with them.
Yeah.
Okay.
So he's 6'5", and the dude was shorter, and he was kind of like towering over him, and so the guy was getting nervous, and the guy was like moving away, but Tanner kept on like going to him to like do the prank, and the guy just pulled out his gun, shot him in the middle of a mall. And the jury found him not guilty, and the guy got off, didn't go to jail or nothing, and yeah.
Man.
And then you got people in the comments saying like, "I wish he would have killed him. He wish he would have died."
Dude,
and
the internet's gnarly, man.
oh,
Let's face it, everybody knows the internet is gnarly. But I think a surprisingly large percentage of the population has no idea how gnarly it is to use dry toilet paper wiping your butt. That leaves poop on your butt. And I mean, this can lead to crazy chafing and uncomfortable itchiness. And I mean, it's time for everybody to wake up to the wide world of TUSHY. TUSHY bidets. There's life before your TUSHY bidet, and there's life after. Plain and simple. Once you've tried a bidet, you can't go back to smearing poop all over your butthole with dry toilet paper. It makes no sense. And man, I want to help make the world a better place by waking people up to this fact. Plus, I want to make people wake up to it with 10% off their first order from hellotushy.com. That's right. You go to hellotushy.com and use the promo code STEVO for 10% off your first order of a bidet. And I'm telling you, once you try it, you're never going to go back. Like, God, the idea of wiping my butt with dry toilet paper and that's it? I can't deal with it. I can't deal with it. And neither will you once you go to hellotushy.com and use the promo code STEVO to get 10% off your first order. Now let's get back to it. Like with all the negative. But dude, it's interesting because when you say that, like a jury found him not guilty, I can't help but kind of imagine being one of the jurors. And it's like, okay, you got this guy, he's like like a YouTuber. He's out here like trying to like make videos to get views for his own gain, and he's kind of like they perceive it as he's harassing people for his own gain.
Yeah.
And so it becomes less important whether like the guy was really like afraid for his life or in any real danger, because by the rule of like stand your ground or like self-defense, there's got to be like an actual like threat to your life, and just being 6'5" and looming over you doesn't seem to meet that standard.
You would think,
right? But because I would imagine the jury perceived it like, oh, here's this YouTuber guy like like harassing, and then what that reminds me of is the situation that Vitaly's in now in the Philippines.
But I would say the difference with Vitaly is when you like pranksters in America, because I used to be a prankster myself and everything. It's like you have to have a little bit of balls, especially to prank here in Texas, because I've pranked people that I might have not known it, but they were probably concealed carrying. You know what I mean? So it's been a blessing that I never had. I think the worst I had was like 2 knives pulled on me, but that was the best I've had. But when you prank here in America, there's a risk. It still isn't granted to still like mess with people.
Let me push back on that. is there a risk if the spirit of the prank is like a positive spirit?
Even yeah, it still is, because just because you have a positive spirit doesn't mean that the other person is.
Right.
But then it's like Vitaly, you know, he's a prank legend, you know what I mean? Like, he's an OG and stuff like that. But when you go to these countries, like, I think it was like, what, Indonesia? Or
his situation is unfolding in the Philippines.
Philippines. Yeah. When you go to places like that, you know, and this isn't a shot at Asian people at all, because it's just something I've observed. You know, Japan obviously is a different culture. But when I was in Japan, they're very, I wouldn't say submissive.
They're not submissive. What do you call it?
They're not confrontational.
Right, passive. Maybe
passive. They're very not confrontational, but they're amazing people. Like, I saw someone drop, like someone tripped, and their pencils and paperwork flew everywhere. A swarm of 30 Japanese people came in, picked it up. The guy wasn't, you know, usually that in America you would have to do that all yourself. In Japan,
right,
30 seconds, everything was picked up. Boom, boom, boom.
Right.
The guy was gone. In Japan, it's a culture to help the other person more than yourself. And so when you're in Japan, like, they have a term called gaijin smash. My Japanese friends had told me about it. So gaijin smash means like foreigner smash, because we go over there with like our Americanization, and, you know, we'll be loud in public, where they like it to be quieter in public. We'll stand on the left side of the escalator when everybody else is standing on the right side, for people that are in a rush to go up the escalator quicker. And it's just like a culture of tranquility. It's a culture of, you know, helping your neighbor. Then when you have someone like Vitaly go over there and mess up that tranquility to people that are, you know, people that will help you in an instant whenever, but you're going over there because you know it's easy content. Because there's another dude who's about
the Johnny Somali.
Yeah, he's about to get like 10 years for what. But you notice he always goes to those Asian countries to do it. He's never going to, like why is he never going to Brazil? Or why isn't he going to Mexico and doing this stuff? Because they know. And it's like, they know. It's easier to do that stuff in these Asian countries because they like tranquility. And so, you know, a prankster's natural habitat is when everything's peaceful, you're going to come in and cause a little chaos.
Right. Well, that's what they're saying of the Philippines. They said that Vitaly made a big mistake mistaking their politeness and they're polite and welcoming, and he mistook that for weakness. Like,
and you don't know the history of the Philippines, man. They fought, you know, the Philippines fought America too. They fought America. They fought the Spanish.
Wow, dude.
Yeah, them Philippines. I love history. Is
that where Noriega was from?
Noriega.
I don't know, dude.
I don't know.
Now I'm just I'm dumb. I'm dumb.
maybe.
Yeah, perhaps. But in any case, I just think that that's important. Like, the spirit of what you do should come from the right place.
That's why I would always like to have the prank on me. Like, I like the joke to be more on me than the other person. Because I feel like that's. But another thing I realized about pranks is, like, my friend, everybody was like, oh, he should have got killed, stuff like that. It's like a comedian, you know? You can have a comedian say the same joke, but maybe one's delivery wasn't as good as the other one's.
Right.
And so someone's delivery is like, oh man, you're racist, you're homophobic, you're the worst person ever, you're canceled. Then someone else come up and say the same joke. Oh, bro, he's hilarious. He's pushing boundaries. And, praise God. Like, I guess I found myself more in that niche of like, a more majority people finding it funny than, people. Because the same pranks I did, the N-word pass, it could have flipped the other way. Like, this isn't funny. Like, this is horrible. Like,
was the first video that you got millions of views on the backyard boxing one?
Yeah, the backyard boxing.
And that had to have been like what year was that? Like 2019 or something?
2019, yeah.
Okay, so How the hell were you allowed to get away with that on YouTube in 2019?
Man,
You got cold knocked out. Like
I did. I got knocked out.
Did that video, was it like monetized? Like,
so you know what? No, because I had played some Roddy Ricch in it, so it was copyrighted. So that video got like 5 million views, and I didn't see a single penny.
I know, but I can't even believe it wouldn't be age restricted. You can't show someone get cold knocked out with a punch, even if it's got a boxing glove on. Like,
oh man, it was a bad knock. Because I was this close to hitting. Gnarly. I was this close to hitting some brick.
Yeah.
And but you know what's crazy? Like when I got knocked out and I finally came back to, I asked everybody like, did we get it? Did they get it? They were like, yeah. But like, are you okay? And I remember I was editing, just having a raging headache, but like I was just so excited. And when I posted the video and it started blowing up, like, you know, I thought everybody would be clowning me, but everybody was just giving me huge props for, man, you got knocked out and you still posted it in the video.
Yeah.
And I was like, wow, what did I post it? You know, like, I'm not going to hide and be like, oh. And no one at school gave me any crap at all. No one, when I went back to school, no, because we had like 70 people from school there. And nobody was like, oh, like no one made fun of me. They just was like, man, the video was awesome, dog.
I think it's important, man, to, like, too many people are out there, like, really worried about themselves looking really cool. Like, you know, right there, because you showed yourself getting knocked out, like, that won people over. They're like, oh, man, you know, like, you got to be able to kind of, like, take it on the chin.
Oh, literally.
Yeah.
Man, that's the thing is, like, you know, a lot of these, like, and I think that's the thing where like a lot of these like alpha male dudes that be on social media be missing the mark.
Right.
And it's because you're trying so hard to look tough. Right. You look just so corny. You look ridiculous, you know?
Right.
Like Mike Tyson, the baddest dude on the earth, you know? He be vulnerable. Like, you know, he be realistic. You know, he lets himself be like, you know, he lets himself be out there sometimes where, you know, hey, sometimes I'm not the baddest dude. Yeah. And that's why everybody has so much respect for him, you know?
Shout out to Mike Tyson, man. That's my boy.
Hey, dude, man. I remember the story of how you guys you did coke in the bathroom.
Oh, my God. We did, dude. And then we were locked up in a psychiatric ward together another time.
Wow.
And then another time, I dove into his fist, broke my nose on his fist, which is the coolest thing that's, like, ever happened. Oh, man. I love Mike, dude. And I couldn't agree with you more. Okay, so I watched this video. It was fairly recent because I was trying to figure it out. I was like, man, is JiDion like just 100% committed all in to this EDP pred catching operation, or is he still like doing other kinds of content? And I'm like looking at your channel, and I'm like, oh, okay, so. Like, I became friends with, like, the most racist guy.
Yeah.
You know? And I was like, okay, so it's not all the EDP stuff.
Man, so, like I said, I just do kind of what I want. But whenever I do go out and do pred catches, that's my sole focus is making sure that these guys get arrested. Because it's not just me. You know, I have amazing decoys that are talking to these dudes maybe sometimes a couple days, sometimes weeks, sometimes even months. We had a crazy dude that took 9 months for us to finally figure out who he was and where he was. And so it takes a lot of work. And then, you know, it's a risk. Like Eric, my videographer, you know, he's taking a risk, you know, my security. So it's just such a team effort all the way around.
Eric here, video is my vid. So Vito's dipped out for the music video. He's all in.
Vito is doing his thing. Like he's working with a lot of big artists or up and coming artists out here in Houston. He's trying to like I genuinely think he could be like the next Cole Bennett, genuinely. So if you guys need a videographer out here in Houston, be sure to hit up my boy Jiggy Boy Vito. When I tell you, like, he's way more than just a videographer. Like, he can get down in the editing room as well.
Yeah, and he's like fully directing music videos, right?
He people come to him and like they don't even have an idea for the music video, and then he's over here storyboarding it and stuff like that.
All right.
And so when he told me that he wanted to, like, you know, really focus on that and everything, it's just
you said my like you have my blessing to outgrow me.
It's not even you have my blessing. It's like, you know, do what you gotta do, you know?
Yeah.
It's like you you never need to get a blessing from somebody to chase your dreams, you know? So I would never say like he got my blessing or no, never that.
Yeah, okay.
It's like if you need to do what you need to do, you need to do it.
If your dream is to film somebody else's idea, then then you should get their blessing.
You see, I know this might sound weird, but like, you know, I think there's great visionary people, but they can't get their vision out there. And then sometimes you need to find yourself a great worker, you know? There's people out, not everybody is a quote unquote entrepreneur that wants to run a business or something. They want to be part of a project and help build something up, you know? And you ask them, it's like, well, man, why don't you go out and go do your own thing, man? You're doing all this and all this. And they might tell you, like, I don't want to. It's just like, I want to build this. And so it's just, you got to realize, like, what you are. Like, I just realized very early on in my life that, like, I can't work for somebody else, you know, like, because I just have all these big, oh, my bad, I apologize.
It's all good,
I have
man.
all these big dreams and I have all these big visions, and I want to get that done, and I don't want to look back and be like, what could have happened? Right. But there's no way to get those big dreams and those big visions without people that are just as dedicated to your dream as you are. So when I tell you, it really takes a team effort all the way around. Like, I can't say I got to where I am by myself, because I would I'll be lying to you.
Right. So tell me about this. What was the name of the place? Harrison,
Arkansas. Yes, sir.
Harrison, and Arkansas is a pretty heavy.
Yeah. So back in 2020, what is it? 2022. I saw a video, like, it was like the guy was just standing there with a Black Lives Matter sign over there.
Oh, and it was for content.
Yeah, and people just throwing slurs
you know what?
at him.
I saw that, dude.
Yeah.
I saw that. That was awful.
So I saw that and I was like, man, I got it. Like, that, the troll in me, I was like, I gotta go there. So I went there, and in my first video that I went there, people might not notice this, but like, I had like a white tank top on, had a do-rag, I was sagging a little bit, because what I was gonna do was I was gonna like be trying to sell my mixtape to the most racist people, you know. But then when I got there, something just told me, like, we need to pivot. This could be something bigger. So when we got there, we started figuring out, like, hey, it's not the town. There's actually this place that's about 25 minutes out called Zinc, where the KKK headquarters is. So we're like there. We didn't know about any of this lore, and we're just figuring this all out.
That's great, and it worked very well. But when it comes to your business, you don't want to figure it out as you go. And luckily with Shopify, you don't have to. Everything is already figured out for you. From the very beginning of just building a website that's compatible with e-commerce, Shopify, the easiest, most professional approach. And if you already have an e-commerce business, no matter what level you're at, the way to get to the next level is Shopify. Everything about it is awesome. And for me on tour, like, without Shopify, I don't know where I would be. I wouldn't be selling anything. Trust me. And if you don't even have to trust me, you can try it for $1. Get the hell out of here. It's time for you to start taking your business seriously with Shopify. And to get this $1 trial period, go to shopify.com/Stevo. It's that simple, man. It's going to be super easy, and it's going to help you a lot. So shopify.com/Stevo for the $1 trial period. And let's get back to it. KKK headquarters in present day?
Yeah. Over there. Like, the leader of the KKK is just 20 minutes from the town.
And that's the guy that you bumped into in the last video that you shot there.
Not yet. So what had happened was we went to go interview him, right? But he didn't want to interview me, so I talked to another guy, and his name was oh my gosh,
John Bond or something, or Ron.
Oh my, Tom Bowie. I don't know. So there's a Tom Rob and Tom Bowie. So they're both named Tom.
Rob. I'm thinking Tom Rob.
So I met Tom Bowie, and I had a really great conversation with him. And then after that, I met the mayor of Harrison and stuff. And it was just a great video, and it went viral. Everybody was talking about it. So that was back in 2022. So now it's what? It was November 2024, And I'm like, you know what? I want to go back. It's been 2 years. So it's the same thing. I'm having a little troll in me. So I'm like, you know what? I want to go back and ask Tom Bowie. I want to ask him to like do a guess the black person. That's why I wanted to go there.
Guess the black person.
Yeah, so there's like this series on YouTube where people like they'll be wearing like a green suit and you don't know if they're black or not. So it's like I wanted to do that with them, like guess the black person.
What do you mean a green suit?
So like they would like wear like a mask and
like
stuff, so
green
you
screen.
can't tell like what race they are,
Okay.
and you have to guess like who's the black person. I thought it would be funny, like what the most
So wait,
racist
you
man.
speak through the like a mask.
Yeah. Like you would speak through it and like you like ask them questions like, "What's your favorite food?" And if they say, a mayonnaise sandwich, it's like, "Oh, nah, you're not black," something like that. So I was thinking about doing that. So we were gonna go up there, but then our flight got canceled. So then we had to get a rental car and drive all the way from Dallas to Harrison, Arkansas. So it was like a 7-hour drive. So we get there and I'm like, you know what? Before I ask him, I want to make like missing signs. Like I haven't seen him in a while. So I'm getting missing posters. I went to the police station asking them if they seen him and stuff. Just like kind of building up the thing and stuff. And we get to Walmart and I run into the leader of the KKK, Tom Robb. The guy that didn't want to interview me back in 2022.
He didn't want to be interviewed by you.
Not by me.
Right.
He interviewed my friend though. My friend Nico. He interviewed him. And my friend pranked him bad. Like he got him to say BLM without him realizing it. He got him to say BBC. Like he got him to
what's BBC? Because I remember hearing that in the video.
BBC. You don't know what BBC means?
Well, I know that you were calling it the British Broadcasting.
No, that was Nico. So that was Nico that like got him to do the interview. So, but he was getting him to like say like I love the BBC. But
I don't know. I still don't know. Maybe I'm just ignorant.
you don't know what BBC stands?
No.
Big Black.
Oh, yeah, okay. No, I didn't know that.
You didn't know that? I thought you were messing with me.
No, I promise. Yeah.
Yeah. So he got the leader of the KKK to say BBC, all this crazy stuff.
Oh, now I get it. Okay, BBC. Okay, now.
Yeah.
It took me a second.
Like Nico got him good, and so like I thought never in a million years am I gonna see this. I just go to Walmart and I run into him, and the first thing I do is just give him a hug, and I'm just like I was looking for you, and like I was looking for the other Tom, and I just end up having like a 5-minute conversation with him, take a picture with him.
Yeah, I was trying to just decide how I felt about the Tom Robb guy.
Tom,
he was kind of like sticking to his guns,
Oh,
like,
yeah. Like when I was talking to him, he was like, "All right, that's enough." Right. But I mean, But
then the other guy kind of like wins you over.
So after that, we go back to him. It's been almost 3 years since I've seen him.
Yeah, and I feel like maybe we're alienating people. But
my bad.
Well, no, it's my bad.
Yeah.
You got the one guy, Tom Robb, is legitimately like the leader of the KKK. Is that
Yes,
right?
sir.
He's like
Yes, sir.
And then the other guy is not like a notable personality, but he's like from there and like super racist.
But he stole the show. Like where like literally black creators are just come there just to interview him because he's so funny and he's so energetic. And when the last time I had talked to him, I actually had a real civil conversation with him.
And when he says, maybe you asked him if there was a black lady like drowning, or somebody says he says I would save her, and I would save the black lady. He says, so you're not racist, and he says, yeah, but if there was a white lady and a black lady and they were both drowning, I would save the white lady. I mean, that's funny, dude.
Well, you can't beat that. It's just, you literally can't. And it's like, you can't even be mad at that. It's like, hey, at least he said he would save the black lady.
I mean,
because Tom Robb, he might have just been like, man, I would have poured more water in there probably.
Right. I mean, I don't know. Like it was just a really, really fascinating video, and like going back to like having the right spirit about like the content that you create, man, the spirit of that was like just bravo.
And just in like when we got there, I just felt the vibe change. And then when we get there, the mayor was telling me how he had a reward that he's been trying to give me for 2 years. Right. And so I was like, you know what? That video wouldn't have made the noise that it made for me to be getting an award if I didn't have such a good conversation with Tom Bowie. So
Right.
I asked him, I said, if you and your wife
come
will,
and be there at the ceremony.
and I did not think they would, but they came out. They came out
He was a little bit non-committal for
at first, and then after that, we went out and had a great. We went out to
Right.
dinner. I took him and his wife out to dinner, and I got to hear their story of how they met and how they fell in love, and his wife pulled me aside and told me that he really likes you, and like that just like.
Now his wife and him were like really saying that the mayor, Mayor Jackson, they're like, oh, he's a terrible this, and they're like, but like Mayor Jackson's like the greatest guy ever, huh?
Yeah, he's a good. You see, the thing that they don't like about him is because they think he's they think the mayor, since the town has that reputation, and he's trying to change that reputation of Harrison
Right.
being like not a racist place.
Right.
They view Mayor Jackson as like, what's the word? Like they say like you're kind of turning against your own race because they feel like he's always demonizing them.
Right.
To make sure that the town looks good. So that's how they kind of how they're viewing him and everything.
But go Mayor Jackson, man. Like it's like,
great dude. Even his daughter commented in the video.
I saw that. I thought it was maybe
his granddaughter. His
I saw that
granddaughter.
was the top comment.
Yeah, she was so proud.
And she says, when I say he talks about you, like I mean he always talks about you.
And now I'm the ambassador of peace in the whole town.
Like it's amazing, man.
And it just goes to show, like, I like earlier before we had turned on the cameras, Steve-O was kind of telling me, he was like, I've done all this crazy stuff, and the thing that got me the most views is just saving a dog. And he's like, what kind of shit is that? And the thing I want to tell you, man, is, you might look at it like, man, I've done way better stuff.
Well, it's not better stuff. It's just that I tried way harder. Like such a desperate attention whore. And like what got the attention was rescuing a dog.
But that's the thing, though. It's like if that got you that many views, just rescuing a dog, imagine if you made like a pivot to just not doing the same thing, but doing other stuff you never. Because no one in a million years can tell me that my most popular series, my most impactful stuff that I, as a prankster, would be doing racial relations. I had people in the comments saying that my videos are tackling racial issues better than political scientists and political activists and stuff, and it's just like it's like,
I mean, it's real world change that you're affecting,
and it's like I don't even see it when I'm in the. I don't even know what I'm doing, and I can't sit up here and tell you like, oh yeah, that's what I was trying to do. Both of those videos were mistakes.
Yeah,
because when I went there, that's what was supposed to happen.
Have you ever heard of this place? See, like we're in my RV right now, right?
Yeah.
Like I'm a big, I love traveling around in an RV, right? And when I got this one, I was mapping out a trip to go visit my family in Florida, starting in Tennessee. So I'm going through and I'm like figuring out like where I'm gonna stop, where RV parks, and like trying to find the coolest places. And going through Georgia, there's this place right outside of Atlanta. I had no idea what the place was. I just like it was just a cool RV park called Stone Mountain.
Okay.
You ever heard of this?
No.
Dude. So I go there. It's just the coolest, like the most beautiful RV park. And then I'm like, oh, like Stone Mountain, and I'm like Googling where to go on a hike.
Yeah.
And like this whole huge mountain, it's like, I think it's even a bigger engraved into the mountain than Mount Rushmore. Like,
oh, really?
Bigger, and but I'd never heard of it. And I go there, right, not even knowing. And turns out, like, who's engraved in the mountain is like Robert E. Lee, Stonewall Jackson, all these like Confederate Army, so it's like basically like the most racist mountain in like the history of the world, right? And like I ended up like kind of researching it because I was like, find where did I just go to?
Yeah.
And like they didn't even start building it until like 1920. So it's like the Civil War is already like way over, but they're like, oh, we gotta commemorate these great like racists.
Like way after the fact.
They didn't even finish making the engraving wasn't even finished until like 1970 something, you know. So they're like out here like celebrating racism with this like mountain, like way, you know. And then like now we're in an age where it's like people are taking down like statues of the Confederate personalities, but like you can't take down. This is like it's like a mountain, you know.
Yeah, that'll be hard to take down.
And dude, and like I watched this whole video just about it. Like I think the video was called like the most racist mountain in the world or something. And like, come to learn that like on top of this gigantic stone mountain, they had like the KKK, like the KKK was like ended and like didn't exist
so like
for a while, and then it came back.
I think it ended around, if I'm not mistaken, like around the 1880s, and then I think it had a resurgence in like the 1910s.
The ceremony that brought it back happened on the top of this rock.
Really?
The rock that they engraved. Yeah.
Wow, I didn't know that.
Yeah, and it's like
so this all happened in Florida.
No, this is outside of Atlanta. This is like it's in Georgia.
Okay, so this isn't in Florida.
No, I was going through.
You were going to Florida.
I was going to Florida, and so I was just mapping out where I was going to stop for the night.
I was like, I know probably Florida get down like that. I was like, I didn't know they were getting down like that in Florida.
Dude,
so this is Georgia.
Georgia, it's in Georgia, and the thing was that like, I mean, you're talking about like you got to make a video like you know like what speaks to it. I thought about like making a video about it. You know,
really?
Like I thought about it. But like, is it even my place? I mean, I don't know. You know, like I just don't know. It's like kind of weird. And what I knew for sure is that like I didn't even know what the engraving was. It just looked cool to me because it's so big and massive. I'm taking photos, and then I find out. I'm like, oh, I'm so glad I didn't post.
Oh yeah, that could have been bad.
To like promote, like I don't want to promote that, you know. Like I don't want to promote that. And then I thought maybe I don't promote it. Maybe I make a whole video of like calling it out. You know, like, but I don't know if I want to do that either. And like, I'm glad that I'm telling you about it. Like at a public level. I didn't know how to feel.
If you feel like you should, then go at it. You know, like I look at it with my video. Me personally, and I feel like what resonated with a lot of people. I feel like whenever you go at racism, at the point of like this is bad, like you know what I mean. It's like. Everybody for the most part knows racism is bad. You know, like we don't need a 40-minute or an hour-long video telling us like why racism is bad. What I think people want to know is, what people love to see is people of two opposing viewpoints have like a middle ground.
Right.
And so I think that was like why people gravitated towards my video, because it's like a black dude over here talking to members and leaders of the KKK and able to have a civil discussion, no arguing, no name calling. It's just like if you were to just not see the title and just click on a random part of the video, you would just think it's just like, oh, a black dude talking to like an older white guy.
I mean, was it Tom Bowie?
Tom
Robb
Bowie.
And Tom Bowie.
Yeah, Tom Robb, Tom Bowie.
Dude, that Tom Bowie, like that was just pure.
The funniest. Here, I got this one video I'll show you. So when I took him out to eat, freaking, he was like, I'm gonna go get dessert. And I was like, all right. I was like, well, what do you want? He's like, I'm gonna get me some of that chocolate ice cream. And at first, I thought he was joking, but he was serious. And he was like, oh, wait, well, no, I meant dark vanilla. And it's just like he is just chowing down on it.
I caught you on 4K. Chocolate ice cream.
Man, what a.
No vanilla in that. You want to integrate this, but you don't want to integrate
It's just like just stuff like that where it's just like at the end of the day, no matter if like it could be the worst person ever, you know, there's humanity in everybody, you know? So it's like if you can find a way to find the humanity in it, I think it could be something enjoyable, you know? So it's like, if you do the video, don't look at it as more, you know, like going at this, like this is bad and stuff like that.
Right.
Like, go talk, like why did you guys feel the need to work 50 years on, like, and you might you just hear their perspective.
Dude, you know the
and just
craziest-
listen.
The craziest thing too is that the guy who was in charge of the engraving on this mountain was also the guy who was in charge of the engraving of Mount Rushmore that everybody knows about.
Really?
And that dude was a member of the KKK. The guy who did the Mount Rushmore. It's just like...
I think Kendrick, I just saw this recently where Kendrick had a song where, you know, sometimes does the talent of a person outweigh morality? You know what I mean?
Well, right. I mean, like this, they say that sometimes you're able to separate the art from the artist, right? Like
let's say the creator of penicillin was a raging racist, you know, all this. I'm not saying he was, but like, let's say he was, and all this and that.
Well, let's say Michael Jackson might have been a pred.
Yeah. Wait, speaking about, have you ever met him?
I never met Michael Jackson.
No way.
I never met Michael Jackson.
Not even close?
Indeed, I don't think I was ever close to meeting Michael Jackson. But man, I fear that I might have gotten close to just cutting years off the lives of my cats by irresponsibly feeding them crappy dry kibble, when I could have been feeding them nutrient-dense, protein-packed, actual refrigerated food from the good people at Smalls. And thank God I started. You know, hopefully it wasn't too late. But man, my cats are eating healthy now, and they're eating healthy from smalls.com. And check this out. These people at smalls.com are recklessly generous. They've been giving people for their first order 50% off. Now for a limited time, they're just like opening up the floodgates of, no matter if it's your first order or not, 35% off for everybody all the time for a limited time. But if it's your first order, then go ahead and tack on an additional 50% off plus free shipping. And to take them up on this offer, you go to smalls.com and use the promo code STEVO. I mean, if you have cats, then treat them right, love them longer, feed them Smalls. Smalls.com, use the promo code STEVO, and let's get back to it. Not even close, I don't think. No, but it's like, it's a valid point. A lot of people are going to just be bumping MJ forever, even if they believe he was a pred.
Yeah, I mean, I'm gonna be honest. I don't think he was, man. I think he was definitely mismanaged because when the first case came out, he wanted to fight it, but I think he was about to go on tour. And his management and agents, they were all in the record label. They were just telling him to settle. Right. And when that settlement came in, that's when the floodgates come. Because then, you know, all these other lawyers are going to look at, oh, he'll settle. And he had a family that was backing him. Like, that was like, no, he was a great guy, da-da-da. Right. Then they found out that the family settled for $10 million. Now their son got touched. Yeah. Oh, and it's like, wait, you were just saying how great of a dude he is, all this and that, and now you're saying your kid got touched? Right. And it's just...
But MJ's a bad example, you know, because it's not just so clear.
No, but that is still a good example, though. You know what I mean? Because even allegations sometimes derail people's whole... Like, how many football players and athletes and musicians' whole career have just gotten destroyed from an allegation?
Well, right, but then, like, why is Chris Brown so successful still?
you know what I think it is about Chris Brown is, you know...
I mean, he's filling arenas with chicks despite, like, way more than an allegation.
Yeah, you know, it's one of those things where it's like Kendrick said, the morality. Sometimes your art outweighs the morality. Yeah. It's the same thing with pranks, you know? Right. Hey, I could be doing the most messed up thing to somebody, but if it's making you laugh, then, man, I shouldn't be laughing at this, but that was pretty. And it's, you know, we all find ourselves being hypocrites. So that's why I try to be less of a hypocrite every day. Right. And that's why, you know, that's why I genuinely can't see myself going back to like reacting to like internet drama of other creators and stuff like that, because the same way I would be like, over some petty stuff like, oh, blah blah blah, shouldn't have been doing that.
Right.
And now if someone makes a video about me, I'm gonna be like, man, why did you make that video about me? This is not even necessary. But it's like, wait, hold up. You were just reacting to a video of someone else going through something even less worse than what you did. And it's just one of those things. And it's, yeah, like, I know I'm going off on a tangent, but.
No, I mean, what I'm hearing is that you want to have integrity and you want to, like, feel good about what you do. Like, sometimes, like, you got to take a step back and look at what you've been up to and admit that that's not, like, in line with who you want to be.
That's why I stopped doing pranks. That's you know, I still, you know, joke around when I'm out in public and stuff, but I genuinely couldn't go out and go film a prank and enjoy it. If I were to go do a prank right now, I know it would get millions of views. I know everybody be like, yes, JiDion's back. But deep down, like, I would hate it. Because I think, especially whenever I accept Jesus as my Lord and Savior, it's just like my mind has changed to where, you know, there's a verse in the Bible that says, you know, there's a child will do childish things, a child will do child things, but then when he comes a man, he puts those childish things away. And so it's like I'm finding myself becoming more and more of a man. I know I look old, but I'm only 24.
Damn.
I feel myself becoming more and more of a man every day to where I'm like growing up with the stuff that like I would have loved when I was 21. I'm like, oh man, that's stupid.
Wow, dude. I'm not gonna say you look old, but 24 is pretty young.
Yeah.
Okay, so with the pred stings,
yes, sir.
Right? Like there's such a massive movement in this, and like what I seem to gather is that there's like, you know, you got Chris Hansen is the gold standard.
Yeah.
Right? Like, particularly when he was doing it with, was it Dateline?
Yeah.
NBC Dateline?
Yeah, sir, yeah.
And, like, they're like, involved with the cops from the get. Like, from the very beginning.
Well, you know, actually, a lot of people don't know this, but the first couple episodes of To Catch a Predator, there was no cops at all.
Oh, you know what? Sorry, like, the cops weren't involved from the get, but it was Chris Hansen and Dateline.
You know, they're you know, when you think Chris Hansen, you think cops being in there.
Sure.
So like, you know, yeah, like
there was no organization that they were doing it with. That was like the decoys were not employees of NBC or Dateline. The decoys were part of like I forget what the name of it was, but like.
So I'll kind of give the sauce what Chris Hansen does. So Chris Hansen, to my knowledge, he's not deputized. So he doesn't have to follow the same rules that cops have to. Now, his decoys are deputized, meaning that they're legally officers. So legally, them talking to... So those guys, they're not just talking to random strangers. Like, the guys talking to my decoys, they're very well trained. They're professionals, but they're not police officers. They're not deputized.
So what's the difference there? Like I understand that like if somebody asks you, are you a cop, you have to tell them the truth if you are or not. So does deputized, like, is that
So deputized, you can be deputized and not be a cop.
Okay.
But you're still technically kind of part of law enforcement.
Right.
Even though you're not a cop or a police officer. So these people that are talking to the decoys online, they're basically talking to cops. That's why all his cases can go to trial and stuff like that. Because ICAC, that's the Internet Crimes Against Kids, they have their standard where they'll pretty much fund a police department, right? So they'll give it the police department, here, we're going to give you guys $20 million. You guys are going to, go online, decoy as kids and stuff, and find predators and stuff, right? Now, a group like me, Alex Rosen, Skeeter Jean, stuff like that. Now, if we go into that town that just joined part of ICAC, if we do a catch and the police department goes through where they do an investigation and charge them, ICAC will get mad because, hey, we're paying you to do this. We're not paying you to have outside people do this.
Right.
So what they'll do is they'll drop their funding. So when you be seeing a lot of times like the police getting mad and stuff like that, like, hey, you're not cops, you can't be doing it. There is no law that says like obviously citizens can't do this. What they're really mad and worried about is they don't want to get their funding cut.
Right.
Now when they work with Chris Hansen, his people are deputized. Obviously, it's great publicity and stuff like that.
So is Chris Hansen involved with ICAC?
I wouldn't say he's involved in ICAC because that would make him in law enforcement, to my knowledge. But what I'm guessing is I'm pretty sure he has a good relationship with them.
Right.
And that's the thing that sucks is it comes down to we've gotten dudes, like we had a dude in Ohio, because the state of Ohio is one of those weird states. There's like 3 or 4 states where they'll not take chat logs from anybody that's not law enforcement. So my friend Alex Rosen, he's got an arrest in Ohio, but the only reason he got the arrest was because the people had CP. You know what CP stands for?
Yeah.
If you don't know what CP stands for, don't look it up. Please don't look it up. You're gonna have some people. You're gonna have someone like me knocking on your door. But the only reason why he was able to get arrested in those states is because they had CP on their phones. Now we had a guy in Ohio that we caught not too long ago, where we called the police. 3 hours in, they told us like, yeah, we're still gonna send someone out there. They still didn't send anybody out there. We convinced the guy to get in the car with us to take him to the police station.
Was that the
we haven't posted this one.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we convinced him to come all the way to the police station. He goes over there, confesses everything, and they still don't arrest him.
Wow.
And it's just it's just so sad. And then sometimes they don't be taking us seriously. They're over here saying like, yeah, well, a lot of you guys, you're doing this for your YouTube channel or whatever.
I mean, it's a fair point. It's a fair point, and I think.
But is it a fair point though?
Well,
if you so you're saying I'm doing this for my YouTube channel,
Well,
so like
I'll tell you why I think it's a fair point.
Okay, yeah.
Is because you got Chris Hansen's the gold standard, and it does everything like so legit. You got like a whole spectrum. Like I'm pointing to like the way like Vitaly does it, right? Where it's like, all right, we're gonna have like no cops involved whatsoever. We're gonna like just make videos where we're like, watch us rough this guy up and then just let him go, like with stuff like that.
Yeah, that's horrible.
Right.
That's horrible. And
Right.
I totally, but it's a officer's job whenever you get on the scene to survey, and it'll take, not even 10 minutes to figure out like, okay, nah, this is actually what's going on.
I saw the cop on the one video with I think it was you were going after the actual EDP guy.
Yeah.
And the cop was impressive, man. He was like, yeah, like I did a little Google search. I kind of figured it out. I think there's something here, but I gotta believe that there's other agencies that are going to be involved, and I don't want to insert myself in a way that's going to step on the toes of another agency. Like I don't want to blow a case against this guy.
Man, cops, how soldiers, they be having all these roles of engagement and stuff.
Yeah.
Cops have that same stuff too, where obviously, there's a lot of bad cops out there, but there's also a lot of good cops out there.
That cop was impressive as hell, right?
And it's like they're being shackled for no reason.
I thought cops were supposed to be doing the shackling. Now the cops are being shackled? This is outrageous. And I won't stand for any more shackling, especially not in the bedroom. No, sirree, Bob. I'm a 50-year-old guy, but I'm going to perform at my best because I'm using BLUECHEW tablets. And if there's any reason why you feel that you're not performing at your highest level, then maybe you should try BLUECHEW tablets. That's what these tablets do. They help men have better sex. And I love it. And if you think that maybe you are the right person to try it, then why not treat yourself to an entire month's supply? Absolutely for free. All you pay is $5 for shipping. Yeah. And who knows, maybe you're going to be having way better sex. It's a pretty good deal for men. So if you want to take this deal, you go to BLUECHEW.com for a whole month's supply of BLUECHEW tablets, totally for free. All you pay is $5 for shipping. And now let's ride this baby all the way home.
From being able, like over here in Houston, a guy could have shot his wife in the head in front of a cop, and the cop has to call the DA to figure out whether or not they can arrest him. So the DA is not there. They don't see anything. They don't know what's going on. Yeah. For here in Houston, for an arrest to be made, the DA has to accept the charges. So pretty much like they'll call the DA, let them know what's going on, and the DA will be like, yeah, go and arrest them, or they'll be like, no, or they'll be like, we'll look into it later. So someone at a desk.
And then that's if a random person is the shooter.
Random person, yeah. That's how it is. Because a lot of, that's why I don't really do catches here in Houston, because, what happened is the cops still call the DA. Right. The DA will just say no, and they're like, we got to let him go. And I'm like, and the cops are straight up telling me, they're like, we've had people do way worse, and we called the DA, and the DA would just be like, we don't want to accept the charges. So you're letting some random dude that's probably just at home chilling get in a phone call, and it's just on how he feels, or if he's understanding the severity of what's going on to decide whether or not charges are going to be pressed or not. And it's the thing I've learned so far doing this stuff is I've learned how corrupt our system is. I've learned how messed up it is, and I've learned how very important it is to get a good DA and make sure you get good judges too.
Right.
Because you can get a good DA, but then a judge could be just stupid and let the person go. And I back to what you were saying about Chris Hansen being the gold standard. I'm gonna be honest, man. Is he really the gold standard?
I mean, I wonder. Certainly in the beginning, when it was called To Catch a Predator and it was Dateline, it sure felt like
To Catch a Predator and the next one he did, Chris Hansen vs. Predator, 2 goated shows. Amazing.
Okay.
10
what
out
he's
of
doing
10.
now is like.
Have you seen his new ones?
I've seen that he's got a subscription based
the True Blue.
True Blue.
So here, if any of you guys, and I'm not taking a shot at Chris Hansen at all.
He's taking a shot at all you guys though.
Oh
right?
yeah, he hates us. But I'm gonna just keep it a buck. The first show, fire. The second show, in my opinion, I think it was better than the first show. His show that he has now, this man. Before, he would come out and at least come talk to them before the cops arrested them. Now, he has to have the SWAT team come in, restrain these dudes, put a muzzle over their face, chain them down to the ground, have their whole families gun pointed at hostage. Then he'll come out and come talk to them. And it's like at that point, It's a glorified Make-A-Wish kid. Like, hey, look, we're bringing him out. Hey, we're gonna let Timmy come talk to you. It's like what is Chris Hansen doing at this point?
Right.
The dude's already arrested, chained down. Genuinely, I genuinely can't watch the new show. The new show is ass.
Yeah,
and I'm not even trying to hate at all.
I don't want to hate on Chris Hansen either because I love what he's done. I do question, because there was a point where I was talking to a mutual friend of Chris Hansen, and just talking about the idea of him being a guest, just sitting where you're sitting. And I was led to believe, I'm not sure if this is accurate or not, but it's like a condition. If you're going to interview Chris Hansen, he will not discuss other, pred sting operations.
Other catchers?
Yeah, he wouldn't want to talk about you. He wouldn't want to talk about it. But now, again, I don't know if that's 100% true. I was led to believe that.
Well, he's made a lot of statements that you can find out there on the internet about other catchers that he's made, and I think a prime example. I don't know if you ever heard of Alex Rosen.
From you.
So Alex Rosen. When he first started, he was booty cheeks. He was just another run-of-the-mill guy. We caught this dude, blah, blah, blah. But now when I tell you, and if your viewers go look him up, he is the best interrogator. He is better than the most seasoned detectives. This man has gotten people to admit on camera to their kids, to other kids, family members, stepdaughters, stepsons, random kids. And the thing about it is, it's not BS, because then he'll come out and find out later that the people that they were talking about came out, and they got additional charges already on the charges that he got them on. He got these dudes admitting to how we had a kid, 19-year-old dude in Del Rio, Texas, 19 years old. He came to meet what he thought was a pred dad trying to victimize his 13-year-old daughter to the guy. Ugh. So the 19-year-old comes, and he's talking to Alex before, and
This is a parent pimping out their kid.
So Alex was pretending to Alex was the pred dad, but he's talking to the 19-year-old kid, and the 19-year-old kid's just describing all these videos that he has on his phone, talking about how he has a video of 2 hours of a child, and he was laughing at the fact that it couldn't fit the guy in the video. And the kid's 19 years old, and you know what else? This 19-year-old, like, Alex asked him, he's like, man, you ever did anything with anybody? He was like, only my sister. Victimized his own sister. Man. She what was the disease she had? She had cystic fibrosis. So she's in a
wheelchair.
And he was doing stuff to her.
Man. What does it look like? You said that your decoys. You got your own team of decoys.
Yes, sir.
So like you've got help me understand what the infrastructure of your operation.
So so I have my decoys. I like to pay my decoys really well because they're doing a lot of work. So what I do is I pay them like $1,000 per dude. So whether or not he runs off or whatever, it's like if I say a word to him and stuff like that, that's pretty much they'll get paid right off the bat like that. And they are all over the country, and pretty much it'll be like, hey, we got a guy in blah blah blah, we got a guy over here. Doing this has brought me to states that I would have never visited. Literally, we had a dude in Hawaii, Honolulu, Hawaii. So we went out there, we caught the dude, he got arrested. And
at what point do the cops get involved with you?
So what we do is we make the contact. Hey man, we just want to have this conversation, like, let's say your dad's name, let's say you had a girlfriend named Sally. Like, listen, man, I don't want Sally to find out about this, man. Genuinely, that's why I'm here talking to you. I didn't want to go to your house and bring this to you, man. Can we just have a conversation real quick? Just talk and stuff. Be like, blah, blah, blah.
How's Sally not going to find out when the video comes out?
That's all right now, obviously, I don't want her to find out about this. Now after, I don't know. I don't want her to find out about this.
I'm gonna help you keep a lid on this.
Now, if you need me to cut her internet bill or something, maybe we can work that. But we'll talk, and then I'll be talking to you. I'm like, so man, has something like this ever happened before? Then once they start getting comfortable, this one time, and then it's like, listen, man, you used to babysit. Listen, when kids are 10 years old, I know how they be. They be curious. They be touching up on you and stuff. Like, you ever had kids touch up on you before? They'll be like, yeah. They'll just be grabbing on me. And it's like, would they put their hands underneath your pants? Like, yeah. And it's like, would you actually come? And it's like, kind of like at that point, you're gonna have sex with them, right? And they're like, yeah. At that point, it was like she was basically begging for it. And it's like, bro, listen, man, you're a man. I get that, bro. You have your hormones. You're the friend. You're a listening ear. It's like, so those videos you have on your phone, like, how long have people been sending you that stuff? Oh, they've been sending me that stuff for years now. Really? Yeah. So how much?
All that stuff is admissible that's being recorded.
So then it's like, once we have a good set, I'll be going on my phone. I'm like, call, and I'll have someone else call, and we have a script that we read to 911, and then at that point it's just it's stall, and I call it stall and report. So it's kind of just stalling and trying to get as much more out of them as possible.
Okay, but wouldn't it make sense that it all begins with the decoy communicating on the internet?
Yeah.
And so you got these chat logs.
Yeah.
From that.
Yeah.
Before, why not have the share the chat logs with the cops so that they're with you when you go to make contact?
So when you do that, you run the risk. It's one of those things where cops will always say you should have let us know about this before. But when we do let them know about it before, it's like, yeah, we're not doing this here, blah, blah, blah. It's all these excuses and stuff like that. And, what else is 911 for? You call 911 when what happens?
An emergency.
Or crime.
Yeah.
And in most every state, if someone's coming to meet what they think is, blah blah blah, or they have possession of CP on their phone, that's a crime.
Yeah.
So, at that point, it's like you're mad at us for us calling you to do your job. But granted, we do have a lot of cops where they'll pull us aside and be like, "Man, we love what you're doing." Have detectives pull us aside, love what you're doing. We have this guy. Actually, I got court next month for this one dude where this dude's facing life just from chat logs, and he told the girl, he told what he thought was a 12-year-old girl, "I want to grape you." Just straight up, just said that. And these prosecutors up in Missouri are amazing. That dude has not been back home. He's still in jail. We caught him all the way in October. Has not been home since. Still sitting in jail, waiting. And me and Alex, we got to testify next month. And they're throwing the book at him. They let us know, they're like, "We love what you did, and we're gonna try to they say we're trying to put a bow on this and get this dude, life that he deserves." And oh my gosh, we had the dude's attorney brought me up on the stand, right? This was a couple months ago.
The Pred's attorney.
The Pred's attorney, right? Public defender.
He's cross-examining you.
Cross-examining me, right? Like, he's like, "So, did you send this message right here?" And I'm like, "No, that wasn't me. But you sent this message right here." And I'm like, "Yeah, I sent that message." He's like, "Okay." And then, saying all this, he's like, "You make money from your YouTube channel and your Twitch, right?" I was like, "Yeah." Because in that video, after he got arrested, I turned on the TTS, so people want to donate and say whatever.
What's TTS?
Text to speech. So pretty much they pay and they can say whatever they want. So I had people paying to say, "Oh, I can't wait to them boys gonna love you in jail," or they're just pretty much. He was like, "So your people said all this to my client. Like, why would you have them say that to my client?" And I was just like, freedom of speech. And so then the dude I did it with, Alex, he got videos of him saying the N-word on Twitter. So I'm up on the stand. He's like, "You have Twitter, right?" And I was like, "Yes, I have Twitter." And he was like, "Alex Rosen has Twitter, right?" I'm like, "Yes." And he's like, Did you know that Alex Rosen said the N-word on Twitter?" And I was like, "I am aware." And then the prosecutor was like, "Objection." They were like relevance, and even the judge was like, yeah, what the? And he was like, nothing. He was like, I sustained, and just backed up. And I'm just like, come on, this dude's fighting to keep this dude out on the streets, fighting tooth and nail.
Did you give Alex Rosen the pass?
No, I did not give Alex Rosen the pass. But I'm not gonna lie, he has over 150 convictions. He has arrests in 47 states. It kind of gets to a point where if you're doing all that and you say the N-word, you kind of like I'm not saying do it, but I'm not gonna be like, "Oh, cancel him."
Right.
Sometimes some good cancel. It's like the morality.
Right.
Sometimes some good cancels out.
Man, that's crazy. Okay, so the whole operation is going by the name EDP.
Yeah, EDP Watch.
And EDP is the one prolific, was a YouTuber, had a whole career.
Yeah.
Got caught in one of these stings, kind of randomly.
Yeah, he got caught by Alex Rosen.
Yeah, and then it's wow, this is the whole thing, nobody can even believe it. Wow, you've got an internet celebrity caught up on as Pred in one of these stings.
Yeah.
Oh my God. And then that guy apologizes, acknowledges that what he had done.
Yeah.
Only to get caught again.
Doing it again. And this stuff has the highest reoffending rate. So
I mean, I don't doubt it, especially when you think that the guys are well aware of how prolific these sting operations are. They're well aware that there's a strong chance, if not likelihood, that the person they're speaking with is a decoy, but that's what turns them on about it somehow. They're the fact that it's so risky, the fact that they know it's wrong.
I have a guy who is in prison right now, talking to a decoy, talking about how when he gets out, how the first thing he wants to do is come meet her.
How is he communicating?
I guess he got a phone in there. You know how they be sneaking stuff in.
Sure.
But, this man's he's in prison right now. I'm waiting. I'm just, like, literally, when so this is what we're going to do. When, be like, here, I want to be there when you first get out. Right when he comes out, hey, listen, man, I don't want anybody else to find out about this. Listen, can we have you can't go nowhere. We're at
Man, so the EDP guy, is now, like, the name, like, is it a show?
So yeah, I named it. So I named the EDP Watch, but it doesn't stand for his name. So it stands for Expose That Pred Watch.
Expose Dat Pred.
Yeah. So that's our
okay,
acronym.
there we go.
Yeah.
Right. Okay, I was just trying to put it together. I was like, wait a second. They nabbed the one, like, internet celebrity guy was EDP, but now their show's called EDP.
Well, actually, I came up with the EDP Watch before we even caught him. Like, before that, like, I had already thought of that. I just thought it was, like, EDP Watch.
Right.
Yeah. Because I feel like, Alex has Predator Poachers, Skeeter Jean has
and he goes by Skeeter Hansen.
Yeah, Skeet Hansen.
Skeet Hansen.
Yeah. He has the Skeeter Predator. Everybody has such good names. I was like, okay, you gotta get a good name. So EDP Watch, yeah.
Right. Okay.
Man, I would love to bring you on one. Would you want to do one?
If I was gonna go on something like that, I would certainly be more inclined to do it with you than because Vitaly had asked if I would go on when I was like, yeah, I'm gonna no.
When we go out, our full goal because we even live stream it too, and people kind of for the video and stuff, like we flare it up and suspense music and stuff like that. But the live stream ones we did, people kind of just see like it's just a dude talking to another dude. It's like
right,
and the thing is, you want to keep them as calm as possible because at the end of the day, their life is at risk right now. So they're liable to, like Alex, he's had Preds go in their house, close their doors, cock their gun back, and
wow.
Two unalive themselves.
Man.
So, it can get gnarly, but like, I would love to bring you on one, man, and just know, like, when we do it, like we do it to.
I get the sense that you're like appropriately legit in your approach.
It gets to the point. It's just when the cops get there, it's out of our hands. We can't make them arrest.
Right.
But why would I? Because a lot of the stuff that Vitaly and these other dudes be doing, it's like I know the ones that are going crazy now is the ones where like they beat up the Preds and stuff, but it's just affecting the case.
Sure, I mean, they're not even trying to get a case. That's the problem, is that they're not, like, there's no justice in it. They're literally just trying to get the views and the money, the clout, whatever, and they're not, like...
And I don't have and that's the thing, though, is like, and that's what I be telling people, it's like, I'm the biggest, I'm not saying I'm the best, but I am the biggest, Pred catching channel on YouTube.
Yeah.
And, we get the most views, but we're doing it the right way. So it just shows you doing it the right way is the best way. A lot of times it's the other way around where it's like you have to compromise, you can't do it the right way. But it's like this is the one medium where doing it the right way will get you the most. Like me, Skeeter, Oma, Alex Rosen, we're doing it the right way and we're getting the most views. So if you were just doing it just for the content and just for the views and money, I don't care. If you do it the right way, you'll get all that stuff and you'll get these arrests and you'll get these dudes off the streets.
Right.
And, I'm not going to sit up here and, like, toot my own horn and, like, tell stuff, like, behind the scenes. But when I tell you this stuff goes so much deeper than just getting these dudes in jail where family members get injustice, like, man, there's this one story I wish I could tell you. I wish I could say it on here. I can't, but I had one situation with a mother and her daughter and it us doing this changed their lives for just the better. Her entire family's life for the better. And the crazy thing about it is the dude didn't even get arrested. Dude's not even arrested yet, but it still changed their lives for the better. And that's what it's all about, man. And it's just I've had people comment on the video talking about how someone we caught was their abuser before.
Wow.
And they got away.
Yeah, man, I don't, I don't doubt it. That's it's just crazy. Like, I mean, I understand because I've got like, the whole history with alcoholism, drug addiction. And that's really what it is here. Is that like this is, it's insanity. Like these people are literally insane, and pose a real serious threat. And you're affecting positive change in the world, man. I back it.
Everybody says, they're against, pedophilia, they're against, preds and stuff like that. But when you look at some of the stuff that these lawmakers are doing, it can only make you question what's on their hard drive. Did you know?
Oh, wow.
Did you know that in the state of Tennessee, that's where you live right now, right? So in the state of, you have a daughter or a kid?
No.
So if you had a daughter, and let's say she was in volleyball. So we caught a guy, right? We caught a dude in Memphis, Tennessee. This dude had CP on his phone, admitted to it to the cops, everything like that, right? The cops, they were telling me how they're going to break into his phone. They're going to look at all that and stuff. But they told me that even if he had naked images of the children, that's not considered CP. And I'm like, what? And they said in the state of Tennessee, it's only considered CP if the child is doing things in the images. And he told me about a case where the Tennessee Supreme Court, a guy, like a volleyball coach, got caught recording the girls changing, and you could see their body parts and all that, right? Little girls. It went all the way up to the Supreme Court. They ended up having to drop it for the predatory charges and stuff like that because they weren't doing anything. So wait, hold up. So by that logic, you could just record naked kids, and as long as they're not doing nothing, that's not CP.
Yeah.
But that's only Tennessee that I know of. It could be here in Texas. Who else? Who knows where else it could be? But it's just that's crazy, isn't it?
Yeah, well, I would say it sounds crazy. Yeah,
I thought that was just the most ridiculous, stupidest thing. And there's been times where I literally just I yell at the cops. I get pissed at them for not doing their job. I had a cop threaten to arrest me because the only reason why they even came out to come get we had a sex offender come to meet what he thought was a 13-year-old girl, but this dude was a sex offender because he had a 14-year-old victim and he's on the sex registry for life, right? The only reason why they came out was because he had a warrant for his arrest. That's the only, and they told me that. And so all I did was just I went around and I told the people at the Walmart, I was like, hey, the only reason why your guys' Albany Police Department decided to come out and do something, Albany, Oregon, decided to come out and do something was because this dude had a warrant. Instead of the fact of him being a sex offender, he came here to meet a 13-year-old girl. And they got mad that I was exposing that, and they threatened to arrest me for disturbing the peace.
Wow. I don't know what to say about that, dude. Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah, man. But congrats on affecting positive change, dude.
No, I appreciate you, man. Thank you for having me.
Dude, I love it, man. It's an honor. I wonder, like looking at your stuff.
Yeah.
The pred catching is, the overwhelming majority of the content that you're making right now.
Yeah, lately, since November.
That becoming friends with the racist, video was it looked like almost like an aberrational video, like a random, oh, here's something that's not.
Yeah.
I mean, it's speaking to you, like you're into it, like you're loving it. I feel compelled to ask though, like, what do you see yourself like getting into more like other
Like something else?
well, yeah, or like going back to like other kinds of other stuff, like.
Well, I don't think I would ever go back to something, but definitely something new. Oh yeah.
Well, I mean, when I say go back, like
Yeah.
you know, you like when you started out, like this is how I described it, like throwing a bunch of shit at the wall.
Yeah.
You know, like the you know you're with the the N-word pass over here, and then like this like those videos weren't necessarily prank videos. They were just like super wild concepts, you know? Like
Yeah.
they almost just like don't all fit in like one basket.
Yeah.
It's just all over the place, different kinds of stuff that you're trying out. And you know, I'm not like telling you what to do, but a lot of those like early videos, they were just wild, they were original, they were creative, and it wouldn't bother me to see more stuff like that peppered in.
Man, you see, I have some viral ideas that like if I did it, it would go crazy. That I've been giving to people like, hey, I had this idea. You know, I think since you're doing content like this, you should do this. You know, and they're like, oh, what? You're giving me this? Like, what do you want for it? I'm like, I don't want nothing for it. Just have it. But it's because genuinely, it's like I said earlier, like how I could go and do a prank and everybody would love it and stuff, but that's just not me anymore, you know? Like,
I wonder, like, I think that, like, my take on it
yeah,
is that the word prank can really mean a lot of things, you know? Like, I think that, like, that, I think there's a lot of things that would fall, like, under the scope of, like, being a prank that are genuinely like positive, like, you know, in the right spirit, like could like I think I would really like it if you were to, like, rather than like step away, and I've heard you say I'm not doing pranks anymore, not that, but rather than just like denounce like the whole idea of pranks,
yeah,
like really like kind of take a step back and like figure out like what it is about, like what types of pranks that you don't want to like mess with, but maybe like open your mind to like a type of prank that conjures up the right spirit that you want to be.
Yeah.
I think there's a way to find an approach to something that could be considered a prank that would make the world go absolutely crazy. Oh my God, we got JiDion's pranks, you know, but that you would genuinely feel good about.
yeah. I mean, no, definitely.
It's just got to not like be the type of thing that's going to be like harassing people or like making them feel bad or anything. I think there's like, you know, I mean, I don't know, like,
It's just one of those things where it's like, you know, I guess, you know, I'm not gonna say like, you know, I'm not like a prank addict or whatever, but I think it's kind of like with addiction. You know what I mean? Where it's like you probably people were like, yo, you know what? You could still go to like these certain type of parties.
right. I see what you're saying.
And it's like, it's like, you know
it's
what?
like-
You might be fine the first couple times, but then you're like, you know what? You know what? I'll just do that one.
That's like it's like saying like I'm an alcoholic. People are always offering me near beer, non-alcoholic
Yeah.
beer, and I tell them I don't need to be anywhere near beer.
Exactly. You know, it's one of those things where it's like a slippery slope.
Okay,
you know?
all right.
And then
Fair
you
enough,
don't want
man.
to play with that stuff.
Hey, fair enough.
You don't
man.
want to play with that stuff because,
Yeah.
especially with like, you know, if I'm
dude-
really trying to hold myself and be as the best Christian I can be.
Sure.
You know, I can't. It's hard. It's hard to play
And
around.
you know what? Let me call myself out. Like, who the hell am I to be giving you like you know, like my thoughts, my advice, my suggestions?
No.
You're on top of the goddamn world right now, dude. You're killing it. You're
No,
doing-
bro, man. It's not
just-
even anything like that.
I just know that I was I've been like, to get ready for this, I've been looking at kind of like the totality of what of what you've done,
Yeah.
in your career, and just there just seemed like there's such a magnificent variety
Yeah.
of stuff that I see in the beginning, and now it feels to me like you're really locked on to this pred stink thing, and that's not like whatever. That's just what it is. And I don't like having just had like fresh eyes looking at the big totality of everything.
Yeah.
Like I feel just part of me like rooting for like, man, like I want to see some more of that beautiful
Everybody
variety.
wants to see that. Everybody. Even sometimes my mom. Like,
Dude, you know what? I didn't ask you about that too. I loved the way that you were describing your relationship with your parents and the way that your dad was. I think that I related a lot to the dynamic with your dad where. Like he wasn't necessarily super on board. It was like, oh yeah, but are you gonna make any money out of this? And like supportive, but maybe a little bit reluctantly.
yeah, like, you be like, man, I'll be like, Dad, I need a PC so I can make videos and stuff. It's like, man, you're not gonna make no money. But he's while he's saying that, he's
Right.
giving the person his
Sure.
credit card. And I actually just bought my parents a house last year.
Dude,
I just bought my
fucking A,
parents a
man.
house. They got fully moved in, and I got my mom her dream car, and it's just I've been so blessed. I've been blessed with my audience too because like the same way I've been on a whirlwind, they are too,
Yeah.
and it's not often to see someone do so many different things and then like still have such like the still damn near the same size that they had before. And my audience is just amazing, great people. Every time I go out, I've never I think it's been like 3 years since I've had a bad fan experience where
Wow.
even when I'm out with my girl, that's always just respectful. Just, hey, can I please get a picture? Or, man,
Yeah.
your video is really like, there was a dude at my local HEB. His name's Abraham, where he always sees me shopping. And every time he sees me, he wants to take a picture with me. So like, I'll take a picture with him. But then yesterday, he just asked me. He said, "Man, I seen your journey with Christ," and he's like, "I'm trying to get there and stuff." And he was like, "Can you pray for me?" So now he's like going from picture to like, "Now can you pray for me?" And then we prayed inside there, man. Great dude. And it's just, I met some amazing people. I met some amazing fans. I would love crashing at fans' houses too. I love sleeping over at fans.
Wow.
We caught a dude in I think we were in Iowa, or no, we were in Kansas, and we caught a dude, and like we needed a place to crash. And I was like, "Yo, guys, who will let me crash at the place?" And he let me crash at his place, and it's just we met some great people, just amazing people.
Yeah, dude. I love it, man. Well, hey, I'll tell you what. Don't take any advice from me or anybody else. You do what speaks to you, and you're on top
Can
of the
I ask you a
world.
question?
Sure.
Since you went sober and since you kind of changed your life, have you kind of seen people kind of like switch up on you, and it's kind of like people that you thought were ride or dies and loved Steve-O? It wasn't that they really loved Steve-O. It was they loved who you were before.
It's been so long, man, now. Like, I've been clean and sober for 17 years.
Oh,
So,
it's been that long. Praise God.
It's been 17 years. So, I mean, like, I just don't think that it's like me, the way I was more than 17 years ago. It's I don't think anybody's rooting for that. If they are, then like they're not my friends, man.
So
I got a pretty clear thing, like like even maybe now still, it's a lot more rare. But
Yeah.
I'll see, like over the years, I would see comments, people saying, "Man, you were funnier on drugs, or you were cooler on drugs. Like sober Steve-O was like lame or whatever." And I'm like, yeah, all right. Like, number one, I really don't believe that there's any truth to that whatsoever. I think that me sober is a much better version of myself. Like, I don't think there's anything about me when I was on drugs, particularly towards the end, that there's any way you could argue that that's better. I'm more creative and across the board.
You know what it is? I'm sorry for interrupting
all
you,
good.
but it's not that they miss the old Steve-O, is they miss their life when you were the old Steve-O. That's
Maybe.
what I realize a lot of the times.
That might be it. That might be it.
That they
yeah.
like fantasize that period of like maybe they don't like where their life is now.
Perhaps.
So
Yeah.
when they see you changing and stuff, and it kind of like reflects on like I'm not liking where I am now. I liked it better when
could be it.
2005
Sure.
when I was at this point in my life, and it just so happened that I was watching Steve-O, and that's when he was doing drugs.
Sure.
And,
Could be that. But what I'm very clear about, though, is that anybody who wishes for me to be back on drugs or drinking alcohol, like, they're wishing for me to be dead. Like, they, like anybody who loves you doesn't want you dead. Because if I pick up a drug or a drink, like, that's life and death, man. I can't do it.
Are you still with your girl? I remember like a while ago, I think it was the dog video actually you were
Right.
talking about. Are you guys still together?
Man, but my girl, people know Lux. We're not a romantic couple anymore. We're we have a great relationship. We talk all the time, but I'm no longer engaged to be married.
Really?
Yeah.
Dang. I'm not here like this is.
It's all good,
Is this
man.
like breaking?
It's not breaking.
Oh, they already know.
It's I've said it like on the podcast. Or whatever.
Okay,
Like
okay.
it's not anything I haven't said, but it's
Yeah.
not like candidly, the episode that I said it on wasn't one that ended up really. So yeah, it's I haven't been like super outspoken about it, but
Yeah.
there's no secret there, and
Yeah.
my old lady Lux, I love her like crazy, and we're just not a couple anymore.
No, man. Sometimes.
She's we have an animal sanctuary, a nonprofit.
Really.
Yeah, like we started that together. That's what like the property in Tennessee is all about, was to start an animal sanctuary.
So man, besides like the social media and the movies and the stand up, what are some other business avenues and adventures you get into that people might not know about?
I sell hot sauce.
Really?
Yeah, I got Steve-O's house. This whole trailer behind the RV is just filled with Steve-O
You
merch.
let me get some. Let me
Dude,
get some.
Tanner, dude, fire it up, man.
I really want to try some.
We'll hook you up with a bunch of stuff.
Thank you.
Yeah, we'll hook you up with a bunch of stuff, and like if we want to collaborate, man, if you want to get me in on anything, dude, it would be an honor. I would love to.
Bro, of course, man.
Yeah.
I would love to, man.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to get on the road.
When I was a child, man, like I think I saw way more. It made me learn to get out my comfort zone,
Cool, man.
Even though I never did anything as crazy as you guys did, but I learned how to get out my comfort zone a lot more. You think you know what's crazy? I loved when you guys did pranks more than when you guys did man,
I wish I would have thought to tell you that I had my show last night.
I would have loved to have come. I had my girl over too, man. We definitely would have pulled through.
Yeah, man. I mean, I could give you a link to a recording of a recent performance. Like,
Yeah.
every so often I'll record the show so I can like study it, so I can share it with people for feedback and stuff. Like, yeah, I give you a top secret link to it.
Bet, thank you, thank you.
All right, man. So, everyone's got to get on your Instagram. I just followed you before this.
Oh, bet.
Yeah, dude.
I'm gonna show you love. All I do is I just be looking at
and
recipes.
Dude, like I saw you say JiDion.
Yeah. So my real name is JiDion.
Right.
But my YouTube name is JiDion.
Right, JiDion. But everybody wants to say JiDion.
They say that's fine too.
Oh, okay.
The people say you can say JiDion. You can say
Oh,
JiDion.
man, you had to give him the destroyer.
Ooh.
See, what it is yeah, dude.
Whoa,
Steve-O's hot sauce for your butthole.
Oh. is it not hot?
That one's not that hot.
one's
This is the bangin' buffalo for your butthole. That's the heavenly jalapeno for your butthole. And this is the butthole destroyer.
I love how like all of them are just him smiling, and this one it gets intense.
And then is your classic hot honey. This is the most delicious shit I've ever put in my mouth.
Man, we have so many recipes that we be using hot honey for.
Oh, dude, like all them other hot honeys, dude, them wannabes.
Really? I'm excited to use it, man. We will be using it soon.
Oh, dude, fire it up, man. Hell yeah, dude. Well, right on, dude. Thank you so much. What an honor, dude. Yeah, super rad. And shout out to Mike Klum for making this happen.
Shout out to Mike, man. Be sure to be on the watch out for his podcast. Shout out to Moon Pie, too.
Yeah, dude, for sure. All right, man. Well, there it is.
Awesome. What episode am I?
What are we, probably right around 260 or something?
Wow. When did you start it?
2020.
2020?
Yeah, I don't do, like, I don't, like, make a big deal out of doing it every single week anymore. I do it when I fucking feel like it.
Yeah.
Like when it speaks to me, you know?
Yeah, that's better, because then it's not, like, forced.
Yeah, for sure. And there it is, man. My new bro, JiDion. He's only 24. God, it's crazy. And my favorite thing he said, was it comparison is the enemy of joy? Is that wise for a 24-year-old? Or maybe comparison is the thief of joy. Ah, that's what it was. Man, in any case, I really like that guy. Really like him, and I'm just thrilled for his success. I also really like you, and I'd be thrilled if you came to see me on my Crash and Burn tour. Man, I've been like fighting so hard to just not like say what I've been doing for this show, because my last tour, the bucket list, like I might have like every podcast like, oh, and I did this and I did that. So like kind of a lot of people knew what was going to happen when they get to the show. Not this time around, baby. I am tight-lipped, not giving it away. And it's such a treat to perform a show when like people genuinely have no idea where it's going to go or how severe it's going to get. In any case, I'm on tour, and I would love to see you there. I love you for sticking around to the end. Thank you so much. And yeah, that's it.